Hey everyone, we're back with you, Sandy and Jenny, Chicks Talking Pics. We thank you for joining in once again, and we're going to try to get to more images coming up soon. So please keep them coming, chickstalkingpics@gmail.com, and there's more information about that at the end, like you probably know if you've watched any of these episodes. So
we repeat it every time.
I know we say it every time. Honey, how you doing? Are you at that waterfall today?
Yeah, I just noticed it's one of the border pictures for here. Yeah, this is Lower Calf Creek Falls in Escalante National Monument.
Awesome.
It's a
Awesome.
cool place. It's about a 3-mile hike from the campground.
Is it?
Yeah, so you want to do it either really early, if you're going to take pictures, go really early, or be prepared to walk out in the dark if you go late in the afternoon. And it
Yeah.
can be really hot. They have
So
somebody
so
there who will pull people out because a lot of people just don't make it. It's so exposed and it's in the desert, and they don't take the ranger there will go out every morning and put jugs of water along the path for people that don't take enough water with them.
wow.
But it's worth it. Just go prepared.
Springtime, not a good time. Springtime.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I mean, I just always gone through that area in June because that's
Okay.
when
Yeah.
I'm headed north, and so that's when it's getting hot. But yeah, if you did it another time of year, and you can swim there in the water, um, and it's
Awesome.
pretty chilly, but yeah, it's a real pretty place.
Yeah, I've always wanted to go there. Never. Did you say it's in Escalante or in that area?
Escalante, yeah, Lower Calf Creek Falls and Escalante National Monument.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
And you can hike up to the upper falls. I never did it, but they're not, from what I hear, is picturesque as the lower falls.
Yeah. Cool. Very nice. Well, I have my little friend here. Can you see my little friend?
Yeah. Yeah.
There, that little National Geographic photographer. National Geographic gave out some backgrounds quite a while ago, and so I picked up a couple of them. So anyhow, we have a third person that's going to be critiquing today, but he's really quiet. So, all right, let's get on with the show.
Uh,
Okay, Jenny, go. Yeah, go ahead.
Yay, I'm first. Um, okay, we were discussing this is out in Borrego. And obviously black and white conversion, which I'm more of a black and white fan, I know, than Sandy is. I'd say the best thing this image has going for it is the sky. I mean, it just got some really cool clouds, and possibly some storm clouds. I don't know how the darkness on that cloud is natural versus processed, but it looks a little foreboding. And for me, that's the interesting part of the image, the seeing the roads, and the rest of the scene is just it's I don't know. It's just, it doesn't draw you in that much. There's nothing real unique or compelling, I think is a good word for it. But definitely the drama in the sky is what does it for me in this image. What do you have, Sandy?
Yeah, I think a stronger foreground would have helped this image a little bit, and not being so directly having that one road directly in front in the middle. To me, that kind of kills the image, or the nature quality of the image is that road. And this, I'm assuming, because I kind of know the landscape, was taken from Montezuma Grade, going into Borrego Springs, California. For those of you that are watching that don't live around here, this is actually a wide expanse of a small portion of Anza Borrego Desert State Park, which is the largest state park in California. And so this, I believe this canyon is Tub Canyon, and it's pretty much your best view is from the Montezuma Grade. There are caretakers or residents in the area that don't allow a lot of outsiders up into the canyon. There is a bunch of bighorn sheep that you can find in that canyon at certain times during the year. So, so they're very protective of the area. And you can see some of the roads that are dirt that are going, that are traveling through that area. So maybe I shouldn't have said all that, because, keeping things kind of quiet about what's happening in certain places is the in thing to do now, because so many people are overwhelming our natural places. Not that I don't want you all to see them, but sometimes, you keep them quiet. But anyway, as far as the image itself goes, I agree with Jenny. I think the top part of the image is the sky is just marvelous. I love the whole thing about it. I think the foreground needs a stronger emphasis, and again, that road in the middle is kind of driving me crazy right now. So I know what road it is.
It does kind of grab your eye and you just can't look away from it.
Exactly. You said it exactly. And that's kind of, for me, what's kind of taking away from the image. I love the road on the right-hand side up in the hills, and you can see these are all dirt. Well, not all of them, but so there are some dirt roads in here. So, and four-wheel drive roads. So I have to say that most of the roads in Anza Borrego Desert, if you want to get off the main drag, you're going to be on a dirt road, and it's going to be sandy, and you need four-wheel drive and all the things that go with it to save yourself from getting stuck. So anyway, yeah, I'm on the fence about this one. I like the story it tells. I would not enter it in the Anza Borrego Foundation competition, photo competition, which happens every year. And I've been a judge of almost as long as I've been a judge for the San Diego County Fair. Because most likely you will not be selected to be in the show or even qualified for the judging, because it does show the town of Borrego Springs, and that town of Borrego Springs is not in the park. It is surrounded by the park, but it's not in the park. And so I don't believe the judges will pass this image on as in the competitive field or category you put it in. All right, let's take a look at the XF data. So all that looks good. That looks good for a scene, for a landscape. I'm sure people, shoot this on a tripod, or, to get this much depth of field. I don't know that there was any focus stacking. And another thing is, I can't really tell you exactly if that's, I'm pretty sure that's not the Salton Sea out there. I think it's just part of the land. I don't think you're able to see the Salton Sea. You are able to see it from this perspective on the grade, but not all the time. And I don't think in this picture you can see it. So, anything else, Jenny?
No, I was just wondering if that was a mirage or if it was water. Yeah. But
yeah, I want to say it's the Salton Sea, but I don't think it is. I think it's more sky out there. So I could be wrong.
Yeah, I'm thinking, that this is the horizon. Oh, my annotation tool's not up. Yeah, this is the horizon here, and this is sky.
Yeah, I think so. And the Salton Sea is right beyond that, though. Right beyond that, you can almost, it looks
like it's really almost raining here.
Yeah,
in that one darker section.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's a really cool shot. I just would like to see either something more in the foreground and get rid of that one heavy road, which is Borrego Springs Road. Anyway, yeah. Okay, we're on to the next one, because
your turn.
This one I get to start with, and this is right up my alley. So there. I love it. I love the composition and the kind of having the cactus, the cholla cactus, showing the environment in front of the bighorn sheep. These are peninsular bighorn sheep, not the Rocky Mountain species, but these are desert bighorn sheep. Very, very nice, very nice, and a very nice pose for the sheep, for this ram. And the curl is pretty doggone big. It's it isn't often you see the big guys out and about, but I've seen them in February out in Palm Canyon, things like that. So I do like the environmental aspect to this image. And I don't know why they cropped it square, because I think even more of it, if it had been a horizontal image, would have been just as pleasing, or even more pleasing maybe, to show more of the environment. But I do like the focus is great. The exposure is great. Composition is nice on this one. Jenny?
Yeah, I agree. The square square crops kind of give you a static feeling. So I think if you had a little more of the sides of the image, it might give it a different feel. I mean, there's a little bit of a distracting element down here that might have been more distracting, or maybe less if it, I mean, what's on the right isn't bad. So, if you saw the whole thing, it might not be so bad as seeing one little piece of it sticking out. I do like the way that the positioning of the choya right there. It's a nice balance between the weight, the visual mass, the visual weight of the ram, and the choya kind of balances that out, and that's a nice compositional positioning. I don't have anything else to add other than what you said.
Yeah, I like that you use the word balance, because that's exactly what I didn't say, but I was thinking. I guess I have
That's
to
why
be
we're
more
both here.
Yeah, I know. That's why we're both here. Yeah, and the only other thing that would help any animal, um, uh, portrait or whatever, is if the ears were forward. So that ear is back, so he's listening behind him right now. His attention is off my right shoulder right now. So I like the fact that he's not looking directly at me. But if his ear was forward, it would tell a little more of, it would tell a different story, I guess. The ear behind tells me he's listening behind. Maybe there's people scrambling up the rocks back in the canyon somewhere. Or would he be more focused on what's in front of him? Because that's where his eyes are implied. Direction is in front of him to the right, well, over my right shoulder, like I said. And the ear, having that ear come forward would have helped a little bit. So maybe you have another image in the series that you took here that has his ear forward. I don't know. But anyway, that'd be a good thing to check. All right, so the XF data, let's see what 1/500th of a second, F11 at 1600. It looks like a nice softbox day, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
really, really nice to take wildlife photos.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Very good, very good.
Mhm.
All right, Jenny?
Okay. I really like the composition on this, the positioning of the owl with the leading line of the branch up to it. In this case, the owl's gazing more over the left shoulder instead of the right. It's got nice lighting. From what I can tell, it's sharp where it needs to be sharp. Yeah, I like it. I don't think it needs to be cropped or anything. The branches on the right kind of give a nice framing element to the whole image. And yeah, I think this was one of my favorite ones that came out of this group here.
Yeah, I like this one too. I like it because you really got a chance to view that whole owl's body and how big it is. There's kind of a sense of scale here, because this is a tamarisk tree. You may not know that, but this is a tamarisk tree, and this is a long-eared owl, and they're large. Most of the time, they're pretty large, maybe a little longer in leaner than a great horned owl, and that definitely those ear tufts are give them away. So long-eared owl. Exposure's great. You know, your focus is wonderful. You know, I just wonder if you could have stepped to the left, I don't care, 6 inches maybe, and got rid of some of the out of focus tamarisk leaves on the right, but they don't bother me as much as the little highlight up at the top of those tamarisk out of focus leaves on the right. That is that, and that's my concern, is the light hit those, the top of those, and now you've got a hot spot over there on the right, to the right of the bird. So I don't know that you could have stepped to the left just a hair and maybe eliminated more of those out of focus leaves. That's the only thing I would suggest for this one. I like that you were able to pull out enough detail and keep blue in the sky, because when you're shooting these things in a secluded dark air, you know, canopy, sometimes you lose a lot of the detail in the face and all that, but you've done a really good job of keeping all that together. So
yeah,
good.
Yeah, good.
All right, let's look at the data down there in the left-hand corner. Oh, it's kind of small down there. 1/400th of a second at f6.3 at ISO 250. So that's all good and fine. Those owls don't move a lot. I have seen them fly a couple of times, but because a human has scared them off. Otherwise, they pretty much sit still. If you keep your distance, and ethically you should keep your distance from these owls, you know, you should know when you're starting to bother an owl, and that would, you'd see the eyes open wider, you'd maybe see a little bit of movement in the owl itself. So so just be careful when you're around these animals. They are sensitive, but use a long lens. You know, that's kind of information we might want to ask our people that submit, the participants that are submitting. Jenny, what do you think? Have them
are you seeing and such?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if they can submit that in the metadata.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Some people wipe all their metadata out, and I can't tell.
Yeah.
But I think maybe I should start including the camera information. Would that be helpful to viewers? And if you'd like, leave a comment. Let us know if that would be helpful to you. This is an educational, you know,
exercise
channel. What'd you say, Jenny?
I said an educational exercise.
Yeah, well, you know, we want people to learn from this and create better images, and that's why we're doing this. I think I've said before in another episode that we're not doing this for anything but to help people make better images. You know, we don't promote our workshops or our oh, maybe we should start promoting our workshops. I do one to Anza Borrego Desert. So, but anyway, you know, we really want you to, you know, just improve your photography. So,
well,
okay.
Your workshops would help them improve their photography. So
yeah, that's true. So you can always go to
promote it for you. How's that?
Okay. Thank you, Jenny. All right. Okay, so send your images, send the best you have to chickstalkingpics@gmail.com. Send us questions, put some notes in the email if you want us to discuss something in particular. Size them 1920 on the longest side in JPEG format. And Jenny.
And since you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the notification so you won't miss an episode.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. And those are so selfless promotion here. Then, like I said, we weren't going to do, but they're Jenny Wolf or Wolfheart Images, 2 T's, .com and investinnature.org. you can check out our websites. That'd be great if you left a little note to us on the websites, and to know who we're reaching and who we're, we want to just improve this.
Yep. And you can comment on the YouTube channel directly too.
Yeah.
Our Facebook page.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right, everybody.
Okay. All right.
Anything else, Jenny?
Nope.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. Bye. We'll see you then in 2 weeks.